Hi, Jamstars. Welcome. This is the second video on Jamstars Corner. I was just thinking then, I'm trying to remember what the channel's called. Um, Jamstars Corner. And I wanted to my intention today was to start going back through old videos. So as I'm not sure if you remember or if you're new to the channel, what I used to do was I used to work with PowerPoint, like sort of I did slides. So that's what you can see on the side here. So I wanted to start with the Jam Star, sorry, the Jam Jar and its logo. Now, I'm going to have to split this into two. I'm going to try and do this as a very short video. Because one of the things, as I was sitting here, I'm kind of contemplating and remembering our journey, is that the logo here, I see the A and the R, and then the symbols, and you can see here as I go through the symbols here. I drew out to sort of highlight what symbols that I saw in this logo, and yeah, here I sort of broke it down into the male and female entities that were sort of hidden in this logo. Very powerful male and a very powerful triple goddess symbol. However, and also here we see that the logo is framed in a framing device, which to me evokes the feeling of a mirror, the frame of a mirror. Anyway, what I wanted to say to you though was, if we look at this American Riviera orchard, the ARO, and if we treat this as a sigil, as a sigil, an intention, as I was doing this and sort of starting the video, I just pulled some cards for myself as sort of an inspirational kind of thing, just where we're going. And so the first card is this, which is very interesting, the Ace of Clubs. The Ace of Clubs, the energy, new energy, the energy is available for a desire. What we're looking at, what this communicates to me, is that we really are looking at the energy around an intention. So it's not just a brand, it's an idea, it's a project, it's an intention to put something into the world and the thought behind it. So this idea, this project, this energy available I'm just going to point over to this side. Whatever was drawn here is an intention. Like, I'm going to treat it like the card is communicating to me that this idea is a long held wish, like, yeah, to bring a wish into the world. Now, that's interesting. I sort of contemplated on this for a little while, thinking about what to say to you, thinking about how to talk about this. And I have my other cards here. You can't see them, but I have the other cards here that I picked. And these are the oracle cards. So I did pick an oracle, and the oracle that I picked, I just want to show you. The oracle that I picked is this. If for those of you who have seen me and my cards, you will know that this is the Garden of Eden. Why is this an interesting card for me in relation to what we're looking at on the screen? For this card to come out, this card was originally there's a lot of things that have been inspired when I did this deck of cards around the idea of the Garden of Eden, because of all the photos that we've seen in As Ever. As Ever, there's always an attempt, there's always some scene in a garden, picking apricots here, the apricot tree, the tree of knowledge, the tree of life, the agapanthus. This was all to do with, was she trying to communicate, in terms of As Ever, there's a real strong sensation of Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of Eden card. And what made me clutch my pearls was that as I was doing this, and so this is the screen that I have while I'm shuffling the cards and sort of thinking that this card would come up when we have this slide. And I think it, for me, the way how I'm linking it is this word here, the orchard. American Riviera Orchard, Garden of Eden. So the question is, all this time we have been looking at photos in her garden, set in the garden, picking apricots, looking at trees, standing under trees, standing on chairs, reaching into trees. There's a notion of, on another level totally, is this knowledge, this idea of the Garden of Eden. So Garden of Eden, orchard. Now, one thing before we finish on this, because I'm just going to do very quick videos, punch them out, ideas at a time. What I want to suggest to you now, when we look at the Garden of Eden, originally I thought that these symbols, this male symbol could be Apollo, and this could be Artemis. Now, we now know, and I now know, that there are many triple goddesses. They all have very similar energies. Triple goddesses associated to the moon, gods associated to the sun, but it's also horned god. And when we talk about horned god, if we go back to the Garden of Eden and the story of the Garden of Eden, there is a horned god known as Moloch, and another horned god who is his partner, his wife, a goddess with horns. So here, if you look at this side, actually, maybe I'll do it on here. So in the green, you'll see here, the green are the horns, and here is the knot, the Celtic knot, or the triceria, like the triple goddess, the knot. And there's a set of horns above her. Now, these two horned gods, if we take it to be Moloch or Cernunnos, or is the notion that the goddess with horns is the original goddess, I shouldn't say she's a goddess, entity from the Garden of Eden, the first woman created by. Now, if we look at this from another, not so much from a Christian viewpoint, if we look at it from a much older religion before Christianity, Moloch and this woman created in the Garden of Eden is the woman before Eve. Her name is Lilith. Now, if we think back, if you now concentrate if we look at this and we look at American Riviera Orchard, if the orchard is connected to the Garden of Eden, and this goddess, this female entity is, if we have Moloch or Cernunnos and Lilith. Now, I'm going to ask you to research, look up who Lilith is and what her relationship is to the Garden of Eden, and think about the name Lilith. And I'm going to leave it there for now. I think that's enough for today. Let's just think about this. Have a look for yourself. think about this intention. What is the intention? What was the intention of this jar of, what was the real intention of this jar of jam and its relationship to the Garden of Eden? I'm going to leave it there, folks. I will talk to you. We'll connect very soon, but I think this is the way to go with Jamstars Corner, is these quick little videos. I'm going to leave it there. Talk to you really very soon. Connect with you very, very soon.